Dr. Chukwurah here. It is a little after 7 p.m. and it's been a really long, challenging day. Um, Even though it's been a long, challenging day, it's also been a very rewarding day for me. I've had the opportunity to think about certain things and ask myself questions about life in general. Um, and I believe overall it's changed my outlook about the way I at least used to look at certain things in the past. Um, my day started out driving to work, of course. On my way to work, though, I couldn't help but notice this homeless individual. I would say he was probably in his 60s, maybe 65 or so. Um, I was stopped at a traffic light, and so I really had the opportunity to sit and watch and observe and pay attention. Um, as I watched this individual, though, there was really something unique. Unique in the sense that there was something that seemed really special about this individual, and so I just watched and just observed. It wasn't anything he necessarily did or the way he carried himself, but as I just watched, it was just something special. You could tell that there was something special about this individual, and it made me think, what went wrong in this individual's life? And at what point did something go wrong? Is he to blame? Did somebody do something to him that changed the course of his life? Um, it also made me wonder what opportunities were missed in his life, and if so, at what point were these opportunities missed? As I thought about this, my mind settled on a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase this. I'm not going to get it word for word, but I couldn't help but think about a quote by Winston Churchill where he talks about, to every man in his lifetime, there comes that moment when he is figuratively tapped on the shoulder and given an opportunity to do something special, something that is fitted to him and unique to his talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds that individual unprepared or unqualified to do the thing which would be his finest hour. What a tragedy. As I looked at this individual, all I could I could think to myself was, what a tragedy. Now, and I'm not saying that all homeless people are tragic. No, I'm certainly not saying that. What I'm saying is I looked at this particular individual in his mid 60s and couldn't help but see something special about him and wondering what went wrong. I just couldn't help but think, what a tragedy, what opportunity lost. Now, yes, there are lots of stories, true life stories. In fact, one of them was made into a movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, which was played by Will Smith, playing the true life story of Chris Gardner, who was a man that fought misfortune in his life. He was in a relationship that went sour. He was left to take care of his child. But through several desperations, I would say, and hustling, he landed an opportunity at an up and coming firm, very prestigious firm that catapulted him into success. The true life story has it that not only did Chris Gardner go on to do well in his life, but he became a multimillionaire and a motivational speaker, speaking throughout the country. So yes, I mean, there's definitely stories of people who were homeless and absolutely unleashed themselves into success and unleashed that greatness within them. But in this particular situation, I felt my heart broke for this individual. But as I thought about that, I thought about our lives as well. Sometimes we let the greatness that is within us lay dormant to the point where the flame of hope and success and joy and happiness dwindles to merely a flicker. But I believe that regardless of how unpromising this flame of success, this flame of hope might be for anyone, it can always be rekindled with the figurative firewood of opportunity, work, belief in oneself. You see, many of us, I believe, walk through life with this tall hedge that separates us from the view of this sunlit field of opportunity, of greatness. And this tall hedge for some of us is a lack of belief for ourselves. There's a difference, a lack of belief for ourselves. And what I mean by that is believing that good things can actually happen for us. Good things not only can happen to us, but they ought to happen for us. Believing that you may not be perfect. Nobody is. I'm not perfect. I don't know of a single soul that's perfect. But man, I know so many people whose lives are blessed. Why? Because they believe and they claim the goodness that is in the universe. Because I promise you, for each person that walks the face of this earth, there is great opportunity that awaits them. It's just there for the grasping. Now, what I'm saying is not easy. I mean, trust me, it's been a rough day for me today. But I have to constantly remind myself that for me, there's goodness in the world. And if I'm patient, if I work hard, and the battle is in here, if I can overcome the battle up here and actually believe that good things are out there for me, I just have to press forward and grasp that goodness that is for me. Believing that in here and acting gets me there. And so that's kind of what I've been thinking about today. And it all started out with that homeless individual as I looked at him and as I wondered what in the world went wrong and what happened. So that's number one. Number two is this, and that's another quote. This is something that I grew up with, this little poem, and I don't even know who said it, but it stuck with me since I was probably 7 years old. And it goes like this: stick to your task till it sticks to you. Beginners are many, but enders are few. Honor, power, place, and praise will come to the one who stays. Stick to your task till it sticks to you. Bend at it, sweat at it, smile at it too. For out of the bending and the sweating and the smiling will come life's victories after a while. So all we really have to do when life gets stuck, and believe me, life gets tough. Life is hard. Life is hard. Life is hard when you're a single mother and you have to take care of a wayward teenager. Life is hard. Life is hard when you've worked your whole life building up your career. You saved up a lot of resources to have a wonderful future. And then you go to see your doctor and they slap you with the diagnosis of terminal cancer. You still have a whole life ahead of you. You've done everything seemingly well. But here you are with this diagnosis. What are you to do? Life is hard. Life is hard when you are taking care of an elderly parent or parents. You're not seeming to get enough support from family members, and you're having to deal with this. And all the while you have limited resources for yourself, and you're perhaps battling issues of your own. Life is hard. Life is hard when you've worked at a place for several years and you get to work and you get in a meeting with the boss, and the boss says, well, sorry, we can't seem to pay your salary anymore. We got bought out, or whatever the reason might be, and you don't have a job anymore. And now you have to go back home and perhaps take care of your loved ones with limited resources. Life is hard. Life is really hard. There's so many ways life can hit us in the blind side. But again, I believe that as we believe in it for ourselves, as we believe that good things can happen and good things ought to happen to us, I believe that these experiences of hardship, of difficulty, these experiences deposits something in us. And really, in my opinion, what it does, at least the times when I've had difficult times when I thought, man, I could never get out of this, and life is about to get worse and will never improve. If I hold on a little bit longer, life gets better. And those experiences of hardship actually prepares me to not only appreciate the goodness in my life, but it actually allows me to be transformed, to change, to become better. And so those experiences serve a purpose. The purpose is to transform our lives, to season us. Just like a lump of coal eventually becomes a very expensive piece of diamond, without the refinement, without the polishing, without the modification, taking off a little bit here and there to modify. Without these hardships, which can refine us, modify us, take off little pieces here and there to shape and mold us, without these experiences, we actually allow the greatness, the figurative diamonds that we are, or perhaps lies within us, we let those aspects of greatness within us lie dormantly till the point where the flame becomes extinguished, like my friend in the beginning of my story. So I hope that this itself, as you go through your day, please don't be bitter. It's natural to be bitter. But remember that these experiences, if we give it opportunity, can transform us, can improve us, can turn us into the figurative diamond that is intended from this lump of coal to produce. Again, I'm so grateful for today. Without having the challenges of today, I don't think that I would have had the opportunity to really sit and ponder, especially this late in the evening when I'm tired. But I just wanted to share this. Perhaps somebody else can benefit from it. So finally, as I always say, please remember that life absolutely loves you. Life loves you. And if you're having a really hard day today, please remember that you're not alone. So many other people out there are having just as rough of a day, if not worse. Some of us just lay down and die a figurative death, but some also lay down and die a literal death. And I would hope that before you do either of these, please remember you're not alone and that life absolutely loves you.